Welcome back to the Max Your Dash podcast. Thank you for listening, liking, and sharing. My name is Steve. I'm here with my co-hosts. Should we just say that Mark's a co-host now?
Yeah. Welcome back to our co-hosts, three amigos.
The three amigos. We are the number one personal finance podcast in the entire world. What's going on?
Kind of crazy.
What's up?
Can't believe they just fired him. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Tuesday morning.
I did not see that coming.
Seems like random. He stinks. He don't know what's going on. And they're always like mad at each other or something weird's going on all the time. You want to do some Max Your Dash moments?
Let's do it.
If you're new here, a Max Your Dash moment is a time you're feeling true joy and happiness. Could be something big, could be something small.
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Hunting season is underway, and we're having a baby here in the next probably 2 weeks. So I'm trying to get out and enjoy it before that happens. And it has been an absolute pleasure to sit in nature by yourself.
When's our actual due date?
The 18th.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
But it could be like right now.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, we're in that window, I guess, right?
That's why I said that haircut might be.
Is she like
Well,
at work?
I'm going to be doing that by myself. She's still working, yep. But seriously, I was thinking about this. I was on Sunday morning. I was hunting, and like I know I've said this to you guys a lot, but there is something about being in the woods. Like I think it's like I feel like everybody should be doing that a little bit. Like, have you ever gone? When was the last time you just like were in the woods?
Your place.
Like, excluding that, just sitting in the woods? I don't know.
Dude, can you try it?
Couple years.
Between now and the next podcast episode,
Dude,
can you just go do it one time?
All right, this is a complete...
It is hard, but that's kind of the point too, I think.
I know. Well, it's also like says something about the world we're living in right now.
Right. Like we were designed to do this.
Yeah.
That's what we did for
I
thousands of years.
haven't done that in probably 3.
Like, do you think I'm
4
just
years.
crazy, or do you think it's possibly true that there's something to it?
No,
It's like a meditation thing.
Like I like sitting outside and listening to the noises. It relaxes me. But
Steve,
I
will you
don't-
try it this week?
sitting in the actual woods, I haven't done that.
Oh, shut. All right, well, that's my Max Your Dash.
Sit in the woods. I don't know. I had a great September. We played. I feel like I had a lot of Max Your Dashes. It was there was Oak Hill, California, and Buffalo Country Club, or CCB Country Club Buffalo. It was a good month.
So
The month of September was Max Your Dash.
okay. What's Buffalo Country Club?
Or
Country
CCB,
Club of
Country
Buffalo.
Club of Buffalo. It's just
Just golf,
it's
right?
like the Country Club of Rochester, but in Buffalo.
Did you just golf there?
Yeah.
Oh.
It is very.
It's kind of
similar.
like, yeah, I guess that's a good comparison.
Yeah.
CCR to CCB. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Do you guys think that the month of September is the best month of the year?
It's up there.
It's really nice.
It's up there.
It's really good.
Not too hot,
My birthday.
not too cold.
Yeah.
Football season starts.
Football season starts.
Yeah.
Kind of a great month.
I watched my first Halloween movie,
Which one?
Hocus Pocus.
Like, is that a new Halloween movie?
No, that's like
You
an
never
old
s-
school.
you've
Oh, I didn't know if there was.
seen
I thought
it.
you were talking like a new movie came out.
Oh
or
no,
something.
no.
Okay.
No, it's like have you seen it?
I think so.
You've had to have. It's with the Sanderson sisters. It's like the witches.
Dude, what is the one with the clown face? The scary movie.
It? Yeah.
Dude, that was just like I saw it on a commercial the other day.
Yeah,
I
that
was
stuff
like, just
scares
looking
me.
at that was
It's
creepy.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird that Halloween is like a big thing? Like people get so excited about like
Yeah.
murderers, witches.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't that kind of weird?
It's
Halloween. It's like Halloween's cozy though.
It is really weird.
My wife's birthday's on Halloween. She loves Halloween, and
Yeah.
Grayson is all excited about
Is Halloween the Day of the Dead, or is that a different date?
That Day of the Dead's 2 days after Halloween.
Okay.
Oh, God.
It is.
All right, let's do this.
All right, we're doing the truth about retirement. Financial advisors bust retirement myths.
We're gonna do some myth busting.
Yeah, we're gonna just go through 10 myths as it relates to retirement and financial planning that we believe are commonly held by society and people who think about money and financial planning. And we're gonna bust them wide open. Number 1. Retirement is a specific one-size-fits-all dollar amount.
And we want you to think about the Voya or whatever commercial company it is with the big number over your head. One of those things.
Yep. Yeah. And they say that I think the most common misconception with this that I hear the most is like you need $1 million to be able to retire.
Or even if you get to any, like even if it's just any number, like it's never a number.
Right.
There's like, sure, there's a number you could get to that like you can make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it could be $1 million.
But retirement is not about a number.
No.
Like an accumulation number.
No.
Why is that the case?
Because everyone's goals are different.
Yeah. And there's a lot of complexity with like retirement income planning.
Well, and
that can
like
change
such
so much
difference. Like if you're a teacher who stayed single your entire life, you've got a pension and Social Security. You're probably
your number might be 0.
It might be 0. It might be 0.
Well, that's actually. I mean, you could also live off of Social Security potentially.
Right.
If
you're low
if you
income,
keep your, if you live in the woods like I want to do, I'm telling everybody to do, you could have your number could be 0.
Yeah. If you have like no fixed expenses other than like let's say property taxes because we don't own anything. You probably could low cost of living. I mean, I think if you're married, it gets a little bit tougher, but maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like retirement. If someone tries to tell you that retirement is you have to have this before you can retire or hit that financial independence of like not having to work, it's not true.
Yeah, I feel like like 5 years ago, I heard that more often where a client would even come in saying, I got to get to this number by the time I'm 60. I got to get to 2 million through whatever it is. I think I'll be here by the time. And it's like, where the heck are you coming up with this? I've been hearing it a little bit less lately.
Dude, you know what you hear a lot that kind of aligns to this is like people will ask, well, how am I doing compared to others?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And they're only asking about how much I have 300 grand in my 401k. Is that good? Like, well, it's not about that.
You do hear that a lot. Am I on the right track compared to what everyone else is doing?
Yeah.
Like, everyone's situation is different. So, next one, number 2. Social Security will have me covered. We did an entire episode about this.
Is the question, that's all I need, or am I going to have Social Security?
I think it's like saying that I can retire because I have Social Security.
And nothing else.
Or Social Security is going to exist.
Yeah, okay. I think it's going to exist.
Right?
I would actually say so definitely Social Security alone is probably not going to cover most people.
Right.
So that's one myth. But I don't actually hear that a lot anymore. That probably was something a lot of people thought 20, 30 years ago.
Yep.
What I hear a lot now is that Social Security won't be there. I'm not banking on it. I actually think that's a big myth.
Yeah.
I think that definitely is going to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, man.
The system is probably going to be changed a little bit by the time we get there, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
But if that went away completely, whew.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a civil war.
What's the percentage of people that like rely on Social Security?
I don't know.
It was like it was a big amount.
It's like 50%.
Yeah.
I think
that would make sense.
ChatGPT that.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Next one.
You should always be really conservative with your investments in retirement. This one's actually huge.
Yeah.
When I was
can we answer that? Go ahead.
This is like so your wheelhouse because I learned this from you.
Oh, I was going to ask you, Steve, how old are you?
29.
When do you want to retire?
50.
Okay. How long do you expect to live to?
70.
Right. So you have approximately the same time horizon between now and the start of retirement and the start of retirement to death.
Right.
That tells me that your time horizon, your risk, the risk tolerance, the level of risk you need to take probably doesn't change.
Doesn't change, which is crazy. I remember because like it is I would say like you're thinking the right way when you're thinking like you want to be more conservative, but it actually shouldn't be.
What does a target date mutual fund usually do at that retirement date? Is it usually like what percent is equities?
Probably like 10%, right?
No, I think it's more than that.
Is it?
I bet you when you get to retirement age, so like if you're of a what year is it? 2024.
Yeah.
So if you're in a target date 2025, I bet you it's like a 60-40 at 2025.
I want to know.
And then that, because it keeps going, it doesn't just stop
Right.
doing its thing after that.
Right.
But I would say like,
Because if it was actually like 2080, that'd be bad.
yeah, it'd be
Most
terrible.
people are probably more in a better spot like at around balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say when you get to retirement, somewhere between like 60 and 70% equity still makes a lot
It's
of sense.
also, it comes back to this one size fits all thing. That's like, it totally depends on your situation and your goals.
Yeah.
Like if you're somebody who, let's say you're married couple, both were teachers, retired, have pensions and Social Security that cover all of your needs, but you have a bunch of money still saved in retirement plans that your whole goal for that money is like legacy. Now you're talking like for sure what time horizon?
Yeah.
30 years?
Right.
So in that case, that probably should be aggressively invested.
Yeah.
If that was true.
Yeah.
So it's definitely not a one size fits all.
That's like if we like take people's like attitude around risk out of the equation.
Sure. True.
Because just because we're saying it makes sense mathematically that you should be more heavily weighted in equities, that doesn't mean your stomach can handle it.
Right. I bet like
That is
90% of people who are in retirement can be more aggressive with their investments than they are currently.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it is like it's hard to separate the emotions from like what you actually should do, like you said. So
Yeah, and like volatility, like this is recency, but like over the last 5 years, like volatility measures are higher in bonds than they are in stocks, which is kind of interesting.
yeah. Okay. Myth number 4. The 4% rule works in every situation. Explain the 4% rule.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's down to 3.5% now, which is kind of funny. But there's that rule states that if you over a 30-year time horizon, taking 4% of your portfolio out every year, no matter what the account balance is, so it's going to go up and down, that you won't run out of money. That you're going to be able to make it through retirement for 30 years. They've brought that down to 3.5%. I think it's BS. I think portfolios have changed so much.
So it's like dollar cost averaging, but the other way around.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And the theory there is you're always going to earn more than 4% in safe assets.
Right.
Which is not
And now
true.
it's down to 3.5.
And I believe that rule is supposed to get you to the same as you had 30 years later.
Right.
If you start with $1 million, 30 years down the road,
your
you still have $1
principal should
million.
never be going
Right.
down.
Right.
Yeah.
Now
But-
it's 3.5. That's not good marketing material.
No. Yeah. What are you going to
And again,
again,
3.5%. All right. Yeah. Well, you need $9 million.
Yeah. It's
And the theme of this podcast is going to be like these one size fits all things just
exactly.
don't work.
Yeah.
Because again, it could be totally situational.
I think a lot of this stuff is good for general education. Like it one size fits all. Like if it comes down to the granular, like you actually succeeding with your financial plan, it can't be general. But like when people start learning about financial planning and investing, this is the first stuff they learn about because it's just easy to understand and grasp from a general side of stuff. But you shouldn't be applying to this stuff to you without putting like specific measurables of your situation to it.
Yeah. Like when I don't know when the 4% rule was created, but I think it was a while ago, and it may have made a ton of sense and actually worked then. But there's tools today that just make that rule kind of obsolete.
Yeah.
Myth number 5. I really like this one. You need to do the Roth no matter what. The Roth is great, but I feel like it's gotten like the reputation
Is
of
it
like,
overhyped?
dude, it might be overhyped. Like, do it no matter what. This is another one size fits all thing. You know what I mean? Like the Roth isn't better than the pre-tax for some people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think the lower your income is, the less Roth you need. And that's, I mean, that like you are getting
The lower your income, the less Roth you need.
right.
Because
Lower
of
the
the
income
need.
when?
Right now, the lower your earnings are today, and that's mostly because you're not saving that much on the tax side of things. But you can also make the argument, if I make, let's just say $300,000 a year, so you're in a higher income tax bracket, you get a bigger tax break now on doing pre-tax contributions. But more than likely, you're going to need more than pre-tax. You're going to need more than just your 401k, for example, in retirement, the higher your income is. And you're going to need tax-free dollars.
I feel like most people in retirement are going to make less, though, because they're going to spend less than what they were making. Right?
Yeah, I think it's like 70,
I feel like their income is lower.
Yeah, 70 to 80%.
And it totally depends, but you're probably, generally speaking, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But if you're in like the 12% federal tax bracket your entire life, which inflates, goes up with your income, you're probably not paying tax on your pre-tax withdrawals in retirement. So you put it away pre-tax and you got it out tax-free. Right. And your Social Security was tax-free. It's like one of the reasons for needing more Roth assets could be, and this is actually contradicting what I just said, but if you're a teacher, you got Social Security, pension. Right. It's good to have Roth assets because you already have a high income. Or if you're going to need $300,000 a year in retirement, it's good to have tax-free assets because of paying so much tax on that.
So again, there's no one size fits all. Yeah. It's very case specific.
Yep. Myth number 6. You only need to save in your 401k to retire. Now you could. Mm-hmm. Like this is a myth from a standpoint of like, again, this isn't, you only need to be doing this so you can retire. That's all you need to do. You don't have to think about anything else. Like you could, but for the most part, it's not really the case.
It's almost the same answer. Like the lower your income is, that's probably true. You probably don't need to put anything else away. Yeah. Higher income, you're going to need more than that.
Yeah. And we talk a lot about asset location and diversifying by asset location. And when we're doing retirement income plans for clients, it is so helpful to have different account types because they get taxed differently. And the tax code could change at any time.
It's supposed to, in a year?
So if you're all 401k and nothing else, that could hurt you. Could benefit you. We have no idea. Yeah. So we like to see people diversified there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I was just thinking about the Social Security not being here question. And then I've heard the what if they come after your Roth and make that taxable? Like those are two things that I don't think they can ever do because of the eruption that it would cause.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. How could they justify that?
Right. I mean, it can happen.
Right.
But unlikely.
Myth 7. Medicare will cover all your healthcare costs. Is that not true?
No, so it'll cover part of it, but there's supplements that essentially everyone has to get. But it's a good baseline. But you're going to have to get like supplemental healthcare in retirement if you're on drugs, like anything special. Like Medicare is it's almost like your high deductible plan.
But it's free.
It's free. Well, no, it comes out of your Social Security. Your Social Security benefit was like the higher your income, the more you pay for it. But I think it starts at like $145 a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
something like that
ballpark.
So it isn't free.
No.
Well,
it's cheap though. It's cheap.
That is true. In retirement, what I always say are these are the expenses you're going to have no matter what. Property taxes and healthcare costs is pretty much it. Everything else you can avoid. I guess if you pay off your mortgage, you do a good job with that. Any loans, debt, stuff like that. Like what is the stuff in retirement you're going to be paying no matter what? It's just healthcare and property taxes?
Relative to what the cost of healthcare is when you're working, if you factor in the employer contribution and it is definitely a good price.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good
even
price
when you purchase the supplements or Medigap, it's
like it seems like married couple, you're paying maybe like
something like that
a month.
Yeah, something like that
for all in like Medicare costs.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Is it really like it's actually completely free in Canada? But then, like, you go and your doctor's like Burkompus. Like, is that the trade-off? Like, the healthcare is just not as good, but it's completely free.
My understanding is it's very hard to get care. Like, yes, it's free, but like because of that, they have.
Or is the care not that good?
It might not be good either. I don't know, but I don't know enough about that.
That's interesting. All right, this one's. I literally just said this one when Mark was saying myth number 8. I'm not going to live that long. This is a lot of people.
Steve,
you say this too, though.
Oh yeah, because my lifestyle choices. But no, I mean longevity's going up. I mean, who knows? Yeah? We could be taking a turn.
Coming down.
Is it coming back down?
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's still like 87 for a female.
Yeah.
Yeah, but by the time like I'm 60, people are like the average life expectancy is gonna be what, 90 to 100 maybe.
Hopefully.
I mean, dude, think about how fast ChatGPT. Why are we getting all these like advances in ChatGPT, but there's no advances in like the medical field?
Let's
Why,
hope AI helps the medical field at some point. But
I feel like there's been a breakthrough in that kind of stuff in a while. Really? What they got? They're instead of 4 hours to repair your.
I don't think we can get into this.
I would love to get into this, but
we can't record this.
Why is that bad?
Well, it's just the whole healthcare system. But the I'm not going to live that long thing is like a crazy gamble.
Yeah.
To put in your retirement plan. Because what if you do?
Right.
Then what?
Right.
You're going to be relying on kids to pay for your stuff, and
you're screwed. And more than likely, like we said earlier, Social Security is probably not going to cover you. So once you're out of money, that's all you have left.
Dude, you actually think about like
that is
running out of money, how crazy that would be.
Oh
like
my
you're
God.
like, this is my last year, and I got to go back to work.
Or you have to live off of Social Security only.
I'd literally die. Could you imagine having to go back to work at like 85?
You probably can't. Like
no, there's no way you could.
No,
that's crazy.
Be a greeter at a grocery store.
But on the flip side, dude, like also people do die early, and they saved all that money for nothing.
That's true.
No offense, but it is true.
It's
like what the I think you gotta find that happy medium.
Yeah. You hear that like you can't take it with you.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's I would say if you're betting, there's a better chance that you live longer than 70.
Yeah,
for sure.
I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm. You know.
Or myth number 9: you need to save 10% of your income to retire.
Definitely false.
False.
Yeah. None of these one size fits all things work.
Yeah,
it could work. It might not work. Yeah. It is a good rule of thumb, though. Like
I think you should at least do that just in case.
It's like a good commitment.
Yeah, just in case.
10%'s good.
Yeah,
it's a good commitment.
I can't remember. What was it what we used to do for the buckets?
The reality is the number might
at least 10% to retirement.
Lower than that.
Yeah.
Right. But it
depends. Like if you make $1 million a year, you got to save more than 10% of your income.
Why?
Well, sorry, I read that wrong.
Now you're over here doing one size fits all.
I was thinking about 10% into a 401k. Like that's you're gonna need to save. I don't know what the percentage is if you make $1 million a year, but 10% into your 401k, it's maxed out in like the first quarter.
Oh, if you're making $1 million bucks,
right?
Yeah.
But the way that we attack this, right, is you begin with the end in mind. You think about your goal, what age, how much do you need. All of those variables will dictate what percent you need to be saving.
Yeah,
right. I think the problem with these is that like, the people who are spreading financial information who are big in this like field can't do specific. Like Dave Ramsey is a big example of probably saying all this stuff, but he can't really like say person by person like what you should be doing. But like these are good rule of thumbs. Like if you do this stuff, it's not bad. Like we're not saying it's bad to save 10% or to only save in the 401. Well, that one's kind of bad, but or the 4% rule is bad. It's just like, is it the thing you should be doing? No.
Right.
But those aren't bad. It's just like,
if you want a personalized financial plan tailored to your needs, all of these things are kind of dumb.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the one size fits all is good for just getting started.
Right.
Eventually, that's not. You need to find out if this actually applies to you.
Right.
And
but if there's someone who's not doing anything, or there's someone that's doing this, if you're doing this, you're like crushing it.
There's like an example. Like there's scenarios where it actually might be wiser for you to be paying off your mortgage instead of putting money in your 401k.
Yeah.
Like that could be a scenario.
Yeah.
Like, Dave Ramsey can't say that necessarily because he doesn't know you and what's going on for you and what account types you have and what your tax rates are going to be in retirement and whatever. And so we take a more nuanced approach to this stuff than that. And I think everybody should do that.
Myth number 10. Last one. Retirement means completely stop working.
Is this a should you or you do?
This is false.
Well, yeah. I mean, it doesn't. You don't have to.
No, but retirement means having the ability to say, I don't have to work if I don't want to.
Yes.
Work optional.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking to a client, you and I, a couple weeks ago, who referenced a book he read. I kind of want to ask him what book it was, where like his goal was always like, I just want to retire as soon as possible. Like I want to be 45 years old and retire. And then he realized, because he's kind of retired, that it's sort of miserable to like do nothing. You like as a human, you need purpose.
Yeah.
And there's a book that he referenced that like apparently, or a study that was done that showed like the average life expectancy of people who retire early is way lower than people who work longer.
Yeah.
And it's kind of an interesting thing.
It was a good thing for me to hear.
It doesn't. I love. We've talked about this on the pod a bunch. I love the idea of helping people create a plan where you can do, like, retirement is about getting to a job you love.
Yeah.
Not working at all.
Yeah.
And there are some people, like my uncle, for example, he doesn't work at all and he thrives.
But
He
he's
stays
so
super
active.
busy. And whatever.
Yeah.
But
Where do you guys think when you have a goal conversation with a client, they're talking about retiring, and let's say they're younger and they're like what you're talking about when they want to retire, and they're like, I couldn't see myself even retiring, maybe like 70 or 75, and in my mind I'm like, holy shit. Well, why do you think they say that? Because I feel like that's a good amount of people that say that.
well, some people say it because they just think they are
this is-
nowhere close to having enough money to retire.
Right.
Which is another myth bust we could do.
Yeah.
But I think what you're referencing is more the workaholic type of people.
No, I think it's the first one. What you were
okay.
saying, I'm guessing now. It's like people that probably think it's not realistic that they're going to be able to.
Yeah, I think
That should have been on the list. Like I'll never be able to retire.
I think
that's
that-
a great myth bust.
that like survey is crazy high right now on the people. Like you survey like boomers and like late age boomers, they believe they're much more secure, and they probably are much more secure. And then you survey their kids, they don't think it's even possible.
Right.
And I don't know why.
There's
that
also
is.
so many people that I personally know who say this, they'll never be able to retire because they're like in their 50s and all their money, their whole life was going to their kids and raising their family, and they never were able to save much for retirement, and they're sitting on less than $100,000 saved for retirement in their 50s thinking like there's no way I'll ever be able to retire. But that is not true.
Yeah, because
Potentially.
if they didn't need that money their whole life, they probably don't need it in retirement.
Exactly.
either.
Right.
Like they're accustomed to a lifestyle that actually might be met by Social Security. And then there's creative things you could do with the remaining years to get that account balance built to a level that you could then use to invest in. Maybe it's alternative stuff that you got to invest in or whatever to create income. But there's options.
Yeah.
We don't take no for an answer here.
Yeah.
And that applies to that person.
Yeah, Steve, it is freezing back here. My hands are cold.
I'm actually...
Dude, I've been sitting on my
I kinda
hands
have
this
a cold
entire
on.
time. It's
I'm
freezing.
Cold. I'm cold.
It's 65.
Yeah, we gotta turn the heat on.
It's 65.
My hands are cold.
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. So I think that's a good myth to add at the end. Is like, what would you say? Like, retirement isn't possible is the myth.
I'll never be able to retire.
I'll never be able to retire. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's review these. These are the 10 retirement myths. Now, these should spark a little bit in your head. If you've probably believed in one of these, this should spark a little bit in your head to learn more about one of this, or like uncover more of the truth beyond what we've said today. Myth 1, retirement is a specific one-size-fits-all dollar amount. Number 2, Social Security will have me covered. Number 3, you should always be really conservative with your investments in retirement. Number 4, the 4% rule works in every situation. Number 5, you need to do the Roth no matter what. Number 6, you only need to save in your 401k to retire. Number 7, Medicare will cover all your healthcare costs. Number 8, I'm not going to live that long. Number 9, you need to save 10% of your income to retire. And number 10, retirement means completely stop working. And number 11, I'm never going to retire.
I'll never have enough.
Cool. Anything to add?
No, that was good stuff.
Marky?
Yeah, no, I mean, that they're, if you're listening to this and not working with us,
Kind of crazy.
good starting point on some of these things, but you do need to figure out like how this actually applies to you. And
Right.
I used to use the suit example of, You go to Macy's, and those are suits on a rack that are meant to fit everyone, but not.
Oh, that's a good example.
Right?
Yeah.
They're custom made suit is built to your body, where the suit off the rack is not. Right? It's good. Generally, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. But if you want it to really fit you perfectly, you need to work with someone.
And then ongoing review, because maybe you gain or lose some weight, the suit becomes
Keep tailoring that thing. But you can't always make the suit bigger.
That's a great analogy.
Dude, that's pretty good. All right. Holy crap, that's good.
All right.
All right. There we go. Thank you for listening and watching the Max Your Dash podcast. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth.